Hello, my name is John Klug, and I've been a Rotarian here in the state of Colorado for 17 years. I'd also like to introduce my colleague, Grant Wilkins.
Hi, I'm Grant Wilkins, and I've been a Rotarian in Colorado for 41 years. Rotary, for those of you who don't know a lot about it, is a worldwide organization in 200 different countries with 1,200,000 members and 33,000 clubs. Well, we have 144 clubs and 7,000 members in the state of Colorado. And we're looking to the future, what we can do to impact the state for the next 100 years. We think providing broadband coverage through various nonprofit organizations in the state comprised of schools, museums, libraries, governmental agencies, and Rotary Club backing can do more for anything for the future of our children and grandchildren.
Now, Grant, we've come across a shocking statistic. We're 42nd in the nation, are we not, in terms of broadband connectivity for our kids. We're paying, as a state and educational departments, about 10 times for a given unit of bandwidth what our neighbor states of Utah and Nebraska are paying. We sit on a national trunk line for internet that goes right through Denver. We have an optical switch here in Denver. The missing piece is the middle mile. That's the piece that has to have this cable run from the trunk into the local community, to the schoolhouse. And that's the missing piece, and that piece is uneconomic at present for private interests to do. And that's where this federal stimulus grant comes in.
The EagleNet grant proposal would provide an enormous stimulus for Colorado in catching up in the area of access to the internet. It's about $146 million. The grant applications have had broad support from public officials at both the federal and state level, but the reality is it needs support from the community as well. The intensity of that support makes a big difference, and the delegation will respond with letters and calls and the kind of follow-up that's critical for this if indeed they sense that broad-based support that Rotary can provide.
For 100 years, Rotary has been here when they've needed them. Colorado's needed them. I worked with them on a number of projects which they've done to add the quality of life and the quality of the economy in Colorado, but I can't think of anything that they've done that is more important than this one. Think of yourself and think of your own body. Think of it in the sense as that you're all of a sudden living in this new world, this international world, and yet your blood system only pumps 1/10 of the blood that other people have available to them. How are you going to survive in such a world? Well, that's the dilemma that Colorado's in right now. We are falling behind, paying too much for too little when it comes to internet services and broadband. An example of this would be, in fact, this piece of cable, as big as it is, will only carry 300 conversations. These pieces of cable can carry 16 million. We're living in the dark ages. You can't compete in this world with this technology. You can compete and educate your children and revitalize your economy with this kind of technology. The federal government, recognizing that this is the wave of the future, appropriated $7 billion to the states to try to make sure that they're up to date in this new 21st century technology.
And the revolution with the internet is very obvious to every faculty member. One of the things you do have is access to all those resources, and you can integrate them into your lesson plans. So if you're talking about world history, you can integrate in the productions and the photographs and the knowledge available from all the great libraries in the world. If you're talking about world politics, you can integrate in visual presentations of the parliaments in other countries, the speeches by leaders, pictures of events that integrate in with what's being taught. I'm just thrilled that Rotary has adopted this as a lead project for their centennial anniversary. I can't think of anything more appropriate or more in line with what Rotary's service above self is all about. The value of the internet as a teaching tool dramatically lowers cost.
That our costs would continue to go down. I would believe we'd pay about 20% of what we're paying now per meg, based upon what they're paying in states like Nebraska and Utah. And those are, western states, rural areas, but the costs are so low because they brought everybody together in a consortium. Because one of the big reasons we went to Internet 2 and bought that with our commodity internet was cost. I think we were spending about $30,000 a year for 6 megs of internet access, which is less than my house. With Internet 2, the option was to purchase more bandwidth. This year will be 25 megs of internet access, so more than 4 times the speed for $36,000. The first thing we did was we called the University of, no, it was North Dakota State University, and we set up use of their electron microscope. So the program is actually, it's really interesting. It's a $300,000 microscope. No way can we afford that. But what they do is they give times, and you just basically sign up, and they allow you to remotely control their electron microscope. One of the big pushes we have is around career and technical education. And it's very difficult for a rural school district to bring in experts from high-tech firms all around the state. They don't want to spend a day driving out to come and speak to a class for 45 minutes. But our students need to know about the jobs of today and what jobs will be available in the future. The Internet 2 provides that window where we can connect to scientists at the university level. We can connect to engineers at Lockheed Martin. I think we're at a point where if this grant comes through, it'll help little districts like ours. It'll help big districts in the metro area. I think it would help us statewide.
The challenge sort of in Colorado was there wasn't necessarily a kind of a comprehensive access plan for internet access statewide. Right now, one of the biggest demands is around streaming video and access to content that's bandwidth intensive but is very engaging. Just because infrastructure is nearby, from the telecommunications perspective, that's not close enough. The cost of going a mile or 3 miles are exorbitant compared to having it go right down the street in front of you. So absent a real build out both in metropolitan areas and also in rural communities, the economies of scale are not there. And I think that having something that's as comprehensive and as ambitious as EagleNet would provide a crucial impetus to get that out there. It's going to take a concerted effort to get us past some of those initial economic hurdles. They won't happen naturally because you won't have the density of population in different areas to get that infrastructure out there. So this is a perfect example, much like the interstate system.
And what a capstone it would be for Rotary's contribution to Colorado to see the EagleNet application approved. I know it's been a heartfelt project by many Rotarians. It will make a big difference in our K-12 educational system as well as broader community access. In my mind, at least, it would be a very fitting achievement for Rotary for its centennial anniversary.
High-speed internet through better broadband coverage for the future, not only our children and grandchildren, but every citizen of the state. And therefore, it's imperative that all of us who hear this message contact your congressman, Senator Udall, Senator Bennett, Governor Ritter, your local congressman in whatever part of Colorado you live in, and make an effort to impress upon them how important it is for the future of our state that we get this stimulus grant.
Go to that website, which is an online petition type of website, and you can register there, and we as Rotary and EagleNet will take it upon ourselves to transmit that message.